Don't be fooled by the internet. It's cool to get on the computer, but don't let the computer get on you. It's cool to use the computer. Don't let the computer use you. You all saw The Matrix. There's a war going on. The battlefield's in the mind. The prize is the soul.
All right, we live, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Please come on in. Back with another one. All right, so we got George Soros. Just breaking news on George Soros being investigated by the DOJ. We're gonna get into this. Let me pull up this article by ABC. Yep.
Yeah, not many talking about this.
Nope, not many people talking about it because everybody talking about either Diddy or Charlie Kirk, and so no one is on this right now. So DOJ. So this is ABC just put this article out at 3:22 p.m. Says DOJ official direct prosecutors to prepare probes of George Soros Foundation. Yeah. So multiple top federal prosecutors in the U.S. Attorney's office around the country received directive Monday to prepare a launch investigation into the Open Society Foundation, a group funded by the billionaire Democratic donor George Soros. Multiple sources confirmed to ABC News.
Now to President Trump delivering a blunt and extraordinary message to his Attorney General Pam Bondi, appearing to pressure her to prosecute his political rivals in a late-night post on Truth Social, telling her, quote, "Justice must be served now." ABC's senior White House correspondent Selena Wang has the details.
Tonight, growing alarm after President Trump publicly pressures his own Attorney General Pam Bondi to go after his political rivals. In an extraordinary post, the president appeared to share a direct message to Bondi, writing, "We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now." The president tells me for now, Bondi's job is safe.
Will you fire Pam Bondi if Letitia James is not indicted?
No, she's doing a great job. Pam Bondi is doing a great job. I think Pam Bondi is going to go down as one of the best attorney generals of the ages.
Have you ever threatened DOJ leadership if they don't prosecute Letitia James or Jim Comey?
No, I don't do that. I mean, I look at the facts like everybody else. You read the facts. And to me, she looks terrible. She looks like she's very guilty, but that's going to be up to the DOJ.
This comes after Trump forced out top federal prosecutor Eric Siebert after his office failed to find incriminating evidence against New York Attorney General Letitia James, who brought a $500 million civil fraud case against Trump and his family. Federal prosecutors investigated James extensively for months and found no evidence. The president now says he intends to nominate Lindsay Halligan, who has 0 prosecutorial experience, to replace Siebert. Democrats sounding the alarm.
And so Donald Trump, because he doesn't care about the facts, all he cares about is the threat of imprisonment for his political enemies so that it suppresses the speech of other people who might speak up.
And Selena joins us now. Selena, as the president vows to aggressively prosecute his political rivals, tell us what you've learned about the DOJ closing an investigation into a high-level official.
Lindsay, that's right. Sources tell us that Trump's Justice Department has shut down an investigation into border czar Tom Homan in 2024. An FBI sting operation allegedly caught him taking $50,000 in cash from undercover agents posing as businessmen. The White House says it was a political investigation, but concern is growing that the Trump administration is protecting high-profile officials from legal scrutiny. Lindsay?
Didn't we tell y'all there's a covert war going on and they're going to start rolling all these big names out? Now, look, the DOJ is investigating George Soros, basically using his foundation to fund radical protests. Y'all remember George Soros was one of the founders and big investors in Black Lives Matter. But I wanted to switch over to this real quick because this was put out 4 years ago by Fox Business. Be careful. We're watching you. Trump goes after George Soros and his son. So Trump is launching an investigation using the DOJ to go after George Soros and his son.
President Trump's going after top Democrat donor George Soros and his son Alexander for allegedly supporting, quote, violent protests. All right, Ashley, What does the president want?
Well, Trump says Soros and his son, Alexander, should face federal racketeering charges. He posted this on Truth Social, quote, George Soros and his wonderful radical left son should be charged with RICO because of their support of violent protests and much more, all throughout the United States of America. Now, Soros has drawn a lot of attacks from MAGA Republicans for his long history of financial support for Democrats and liberal causes. But before leaving office, former President Joe Biden awarded the elder Soros with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That is the nation's top civilian honor. But Trump went on to say, quote, Soros and his group of psychopaths have caused great damage to our country. That includes his crazy West Coast friends. Be careful. We're watching you. That's the message from the president, Stu.
It doesn't all.
So it makes you think that being as though this war is going on between it, because you gotta realize George Soros is somebody very important to, to the political scene. I mean, this billionaire guy been around for a very, very, very long time. And now that you're seeing their names being put in the media to be investigated, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So like we said, there's a covert war going on with these political figures at the top. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is crazy. So you have JD Vance actually during a conference, a press conference, him speaking on George Soros, basically saying George Soros using his media platforms to go after people like Charlie Kirk and others, basically. So let me go ahead and get into this real quick.
With people who scream at children over their parents' politics. There is no unity with someone who lies about what Charlie Kirk said in order to excuse his murder. There is no unity with someone who harasses an innocent family the day after the father of that family lost a dear friend. There is no unity with the people who celebrate Charlie Kirk's assassination. And there is no unity with the people who fund these articles, who pay the salaries of these terrorist sympathizers, who argue that Charlie Kirk, a loving husband and father, deserved a shot to the neck because he spoke words with which they disagree. Did you know that the George Soros Open Society Foundation and the Ford Foundation, the groups who funded that disgusting article justifying Charlie's death, do you know they benefit from generous tax treatment? They are literally subsidized by you and me, the American taxpayer. And how do they reward us? By setting fire to the house built by the American family over 250 years. I am desperate for our country to be united in condemnation of the actions and the ideas that killed my friend. I want it so badly that I will tell you a difficult truth. We can only have it with people who acknowledge that political violence is unacceptable, and when we work to dismantle the institutions that promote violence and terrorism in our own country.
So that's Vance, and it was part of a longer.
So like we said, this is not like a left and right matter when it comes to these elites. There's no left and right when it comes to them. It's a power grab going on between the elites, but they using the general population for it to push certain agendas through. And I mean, with this left and right shit, usually the elites fund both sides of the war. We should have learned that through the Rothschilds.
Right. That's all they do is fund both sides.
All right, they fund both
But
sides.
I believe it's a division between them right now because the money system's about to change. So a lot of this, it is factions out there that's warring against each other because everybody don't agree with the direction that the world is going in. Everybody at the so-called top don't agree with all this artificial intelligence and digital banking and all this stuff coming into play and cryptocurrencies. That's what it always boils down to, money and control.
Yeah.
That's what at the end of the day is about, money and control. And most people in the world don't realize what's happening with our money system. They don't realize how huge this is going to be.
Yeah.
Just the world to have the ability to to send money around the world like instantly without having to
In a
use
matter of
outdated
seconds.
systems. Yeah, seconds, and settle all debts in seconds, and you could be taxed in real time and all of that type of stuff. Paid in
Hmm.
real time, taxed in real time. Like the world is about to change.
A whole big change.
Yeah,
And I don't think people realize what's going on. And the reason why we starting to see, these wars take place within our political system amongst the elites, the so-called elites, is because some people don't want that system to come into play, and you got some people that do. And obviously, Trump is one of the ones that's want the plan to go through fully.
facts.
He's a cryptocurrency president,
Right,
definitely. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
all his billionaire cronies are crypto investors, including himself. So they want this plan to go through. Now you might have people like, this George Soros guy might be still trying to hold on to the old system. He might be one of them ones. And I told you the DOJ having that interview, that so-called interview with Maxwell, where I guess she was supposed to reveal some names on the Epstein list to Trump, but why not the public? I don't know why not the public. You mean, but obviously it's people he's going after himself, and he using our the DOJ, Department of Justice, to go after these certain individuals. Now, look, we know they rolling out names, but we ain't know George Soros was going one of the billionaire names that was going to be rolled out. Yeah, it don't even matter if they billionaires or not. If it's a war going on, some people just going, they want certain people out the way. And we
And
see
a
Trump,
billionaire ain't even a real label anyway.
right?
It's just whatever. Once it gets to that level, it's just
Yeah,
whatever you have
it's just
access to.
access to facts.
It ain't money. You don't even really see money is for us, for like this, the people who ain't got access to everything.
Yeah,
So they just label them any old thing. Oh, that's a billionaire. That's it. Like once you get to $1 billion, like that's not even you can't even comprehend that for one
right.
person to have $1 billion. Like that don't even make any sense. Just say what it is. They got access to everything.
Hmm.
And the thing is, the way the system is going, all the people who got access to everything ain't in agreement. So you're gonna see more billionaires on the news, but nothing might not come of it. I mean, you gotta think
Right,
about it. It got so bad. You seen Prince Andrew name in the news connected to Epstein. That would have never
right.
came out over a decade ago. That would have never seen the lights of day. So
True.
obviously, it's some powerful person that was able to get that out to the media. Same thing with this Epstein stuff. So yeah, it is a war going on out here, y'all. It might not be nobody in control. That's why they try to make the whole world automated with this artificial intelligence, because they
Right.
don't know what to do at this point. And it's too many people out here who's paying attention that they didn't expect that the general public would wake up the way they did. They wasn't banking
Absolutely.
on that. They wasn't banking on that part. So it's crumbling. The power structure on the planet is crumbling at the same time while they trying to bring in this new system.
Right. And the Epstein shit is tied to that because of the people, certain individuals that, like we said, the left and right is on that Epstein client list, right? But like being as though it's like, all right, who dirt? We're gonna use this dirt to go after certain individuals. You know what I mean? So it really I'm looking at it as criminals going after criminals. Really, they all criminals, but they all trying to take each other out. Yeah,
Facts, facts.
they trying to take each other out. That's
And
it.
that is no honor among thieves, is what they say. And you gotta think about it. These people stole from the world.
Yeah,
They stole from the world in a form of deceit, deceiving everyone. People was born into the deceit because we talking about possibly centuries of deceit to the
yeah,
general public. It's been the same people running shit behind the scene for centuries. They just pass it down to they progeny. and they all still running shit. It's like they say, it's 1%. It's literally 1% of the population that's been running everything for the last couple of centuries. But that's coming to an end.
Yeah, yeah. The empire must crumble.
Yeah, that
The
shit's
empire
crumbling.
must crumble. The empire must come to an end.
So you're gonna see more names like George Soros and Epstein and all them people in the media. It's Prince Andrews and all. You're gonna see a lot of them. You're gonna see a lot of those more names in there because it is a war at the top because it's crumbling. Because you gotta think about it. Those names would never see the media, the mainstream media in that light.
Yeah,
If somebody else powerful didn't put them there. Because
right,
who else is powerful enough to get Prince Andrew out there being associated with Epstein and them talking about Soros, investigating Soros and all that. So obviously it is some type of war going on. And
yeah,
they gotta hold it together in front of us. Like, because they don't want they don't want to lose complete control over the world.
right,
Almost like when two parents is fighting and shit. And they don't want the kids to see.
right. So they go in a room, close the door. You can
Yeah,
kind of hear them yelling through the door a little bit, but you don't know what's actually being said. And that's the same thing with these pricks behind the scenes, fighting amongst each other and little things leaking out here and there.
right.
And
In
it's
the
enough
name of
for
Epstein and
yeah,
Soros.
right. And it's enough for us to do our investigation and start connecting the dots.
Right.
Because that stuff is going to spill out. All that stuff is going to spill out into the streets, and you starting to see people get taken out. You starting to see these CEOs getting taken out.
Yup.
A lot of CEOs got taken out after that COVID shit. Like
That's
they
because a lot of them is tied to because once this artificial intelligence system go fully operated, fully live, take over the financial system and the medical system and all the rest of the systems, a
yeah,
lot of dirt is going to come out. So a lot of people is going to want to tie up loose ends and all that right now, try to hide. Yeah, so you got to think about it. A lot of these people that they show us the face of and we see them on the news and all that all the time, they just puppets. They not even the real ones that's running things.
right,
So they get rid of those people easily. The people they show us every day, they get rid of them easily. And just think
damn,
about all the celebrity deaths and the political assassinations, attempted political assassinations. Just think, just in the last 5 years.
right.
So yeah, so things is heating up. So we're gonna see more names. We're gonna see more Epsteins
More
soon.
names, more
Yeah,
billionaire, more hot upper echelon people in society. We about to start seeing more of their names roll out. Like this open now, it's been talked about George Soros funding, you know, radical protests for a long time. You talking about like a lot of those protests that got turned violent when they start tearing up stores and dropping
right.
off bricks at locations.
COVID,
They
right?
said,
You talking
yeah,
about COVID?
COVID shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
COVID shit, Black Lives Matter shit. Yeah, all
yeah,
those they basically saying, matter of fact, let me pull this video up real quick.
right.
'Cause- Let me pull this up because George Soros was accused of funding a lot of that Black Lives Matter shit too. Let me see if I
I
can
do
pull
feel
this
like
up.
Somebody said Lil Donnie is the list. I do feel like Trump is on that
Yeah, I
Epstein.
do. Me too. Yeah, right.
I believe that, bro, because you ain't gonna be friends with somebody that long and not know what they do or not be engaged in what they do. They was talking shit. What's the name? Epstein was talking like him and Trump was close friends. So I mean, like you ain't gonna be that close to, and they both got the same type demeanor.
Facts.
Grab them right by the ussy, and then they got all the pictures out there that's not AI, actual real pictures of Trump and Epstein together with Maxwell and all of them chilling.
Right. And it's crazy because this George Soros this motherfucker 90 years old. Like he halfway in the grave well, more than halfway in the grave any damn way.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
He's out there. He's one of the dudes that's like John D. Rockefeller type. Like
Yeah,
it's like yeah, the original one. Like he was working
yeah,
for him and shit.
yeah. He one
Like
of the
you know what I'm
original
saying?
ones at
Yeah,
Rockefellers and the Rothschilds
Hell
and
yeah.
what's the other dude? What's his name? You know what I'm
Plus, he
talking
was
about that.
around during the Holocaust shit. He was
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
the little
yeah. Oh
kids.
yeah.
That's what they claim that he. I mean, that's the story that they created for him. I don't know
Created
how
for him,
true
right?
it is, but they saying that he was one of the Holocaust survivors.
Right.
Like he was one of the kids that was in one of the camps in the Holocaust. You know what I'm saying? So that's how far back Soros goes.
Yeah.
And then coming to America, yeah, I mean, I ain't talking about Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, but he coming to America working for niggas like Rockefeller and them.
Yeah. He
So
might
like
be.
you gotta just think where this dude, the origin of this guy.
And he looked like Rockefeller. And
He
so
do. They look like they
yeah,
could be related.
right. And a lot of them do be
Facts.
family then. A lot of them do be family then, like married in and shit like that. So yeah,
I always thought they looked exactly alike.
yeah,
I always thought I used to look at I thought they were like cousins or some shit
yeah.
like that.
And Henry Kissinger too. He looked just like them too. Y'all remember Henry Kissinger? They saying he was one of the one of the dudes that came over here from and he still had the damn accent. The German
Yeah,
the damn German accent or whatever
facts.
wherever they say he's supposed to be. But yeah, Henry Kissinger was another one that was that was doing a lot of
And
shady shit.
they claim he was a Holocaust survivor too.
Yeah.
That his family was at least was in those camps. He was. So
Yeah.
I don't even know, bro. It seemed like it seemed like motherfuckers was fooled from the beginning because a lot of
Right.
them act like they were one of the ones in the camps, but they could have been the motherfuckers running it on the
Right.
low. But
I
that's
need y'all
another whole lot. That's another
right.
whole
That's a
live stream
live
right
stream.
there.
Right. Y'all double tap the screen and like this video. Get this video a thumbs up by double tapping the screen. We definitely appreciate it. Let me know if we good on sound.
Yeah, ain't no sound to this.
No
You
sound?
gotta re
All
up
right,
it.
let me
Yeah,
reshare it. Let me share
yeah.
this again. Yeah, they've been saying this dude. They've been saying this guy since, they years ago this dude was funding
Funding
protests
those
and shit.
movements.
Yeah.
Democrats tell us money is the root of all evil in politics, and for once, they might actually be right. So, is it money that motivates politicians? And if so, what's behind that money, and who is the person that pays for it? For liberals, that man is George Soros, and these are leaked memos from the desk of the billionaire progressive. They tell us what's behind that money, and let me just say, it should scare us. Let's take a look at the secrets behind his money. Soros, secret number one. George Soros wants the refugee crisis in Europe to be painted as the new normal. He says the crisis is the perfect tool to influence immigration policies on the global level. Remember, George Soros is a radical here. He's no moderate. He doesn't believe in nations. He doesn't believe in borders. And he's not some nutty college professor sitting in his parents' basement making YouTube videos about his wacky ideas. Soros has the cash to put his money where his mouth is. Soros' secret number two, he paid to influence the justices of the Supreme Court of the United States. It's basically legal bribery here. The truth is, it's not just Europe. Soros doesn't want American borders either, so he pressured the Supreme Court to uphold President Obama's pseudo-amnesty plan. They didn't uphold it. Soros' secret number three, Soros gave $650,000, that's almost $1 million, to the Black Lives Matter movement to fuel the unrest that followed the death of Freddie Gray. He did this to, and I quote here, he did this to accelerate the dismantling of structural inequality generated and maintained by local law enforcement. Sounds insane, does it not? And his staff lied about it too. They denied ever sending money to the protesters, even though they did. And that brings us to Soros' secret number 4 and 5. Soros funds anti-Semitic groups that call Israel racist, all the while paying for smear campaigns against conservative activists here at home. Remember when Bernie Sanders railed against greedy capitalists? Well, that's George Soros he's talking about. And when Soros snaps his fingers, Hillary jumps to the tune of $7 million from Soros to her super PACs. And then what do we hear from the media about this? Radio silence, people. Nothing. Why won't the media report on this story? Look at the New York Times. Nothing. The Washington Post. Nothing. No stories. CNN. Nothing there. CBS News. Nope. Not there either. So why? Are they afraid? Is there something?
Nah, they protect special interests. That's why those people are being paid to keep things quiet, to keep things out the media. Like right now, right now we're the only ones that's live talking about George Soros being prosecuted by, the DOJ. No other mainstream medias is even talking about it live. Usually, they have their medias live talking about it. ABC was the only ones that broke the news, but you know, yeah, a lot of these billionaire dudes are lobbying a lot of these politicians, and yes, and they do fund both sides of the war. Yes, yeah, they do.
They was at he hired them. It was part of the big plan to disrupt smaller businesses because a lot of those people, those so-called fake protesters, was being paid to ruin small businesses, breaking up their merchandise and all that type of shit.
Yeah,
So that's you gotta remember most of the COVID shit was really about the financial meltdown that came with that.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they need that financial meltdown so they could bring in a new system. That's why the value of the American dollar is dropping fast as hell. And the American dollar is the global reserve currency, but it's
Absolutely.
losing its power as the global reserve currency because the value of it is dropping fast as hell.
Yes, indeed.
And the reason why it's dropping fast because they want to save it with this crypto system that they bringing in. So the big picture is all this shit that they present to us and show us was to collapse the financial system so they can bring in a new one because you got to think about all the businesses that was disrupted during COVID. And they only let the major
Right.
corporations thrive during COVID.
They damn sure did.
Y'all got to remember they made sure most of the moms and pop shops and like local restaurants and local shops and shit that sells, they made sure those were closed during COVID. So people, entrepreneurs and moms and pops businesses, so they won't be able to survive
Yeah,
because they only want the corporations to survive, and not even all the corporations, certain ones. Because you see, even some of the corporations, like especially the department stores and shit like that, they want Amazon to replace all of those department stores.
yeah, because a lot of them is filing bankruptcy right now.
Right.
Yeah, and brick and mortar is gonna be the thing of the past. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So
Soros played a big role in that. So they
damn sure
basically
did.
used him and his influence to help, you know, all the odds and ends when it comes to the businesses. Make sure you go in there. You destroy big corporation businesses too, so don't be obvious. But make sure you destroy a lot of the moms and pop businesses during these protests.
Right.
Like and the news didn't report on it as much. They only reported showing them, acting like they was doing a peaceful protest.
Right.
The Black
Fact.
Lives Matter and all the other shit that was when a lot of those people were out there looting.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That was all planned. It, see, they make it look like chaos to us.
Right.
See, that's their whole plan. That's how they do it. They have to make it look like it's chaos to us. But really what's going on is a big agenda to go a certain way. And they know that if they do certain things, certain people or certain agencies will react a certain way. And the masses will react a certain way. So they
Fact.
do these things because they know exactly how the result is going to be. Just basic cause and effect. But to us, they make it look like it's just random, it's chaos. But they know what they're doing because it's all leading to this financial crash. That's why the prices of everything is going up so sky high. You gotta realize a lot of the businesses during COVID had to shut down that kept certain businesses that kept the country running, and they lost a lot of money. And they strategically made sure certain businesses were shut down during COVID, so the economy can collapse. Because that's what they want. That's why they keep showing us this debt clock. They want us to see the debt clock. You know how long that debt clock been that damn high? But you gotta realize, just in the last decade or so, they've been more public with it, the debt clock.
Yeah.
But before that, people never used to talk about the debt clock. Nobody never talked about that shit. But they want people to talk about it because they want the collapse to happen because they want crypto to be the savior. They want digital currencies to be the savior. Specifically stable coins. That's why they've been secretly putting more and more crypto bills into basically signing them in. You know what I mean? And basically behind our backs, a lot of us don't even know about the Genius Act or the Clarity Act or any of that that's bringing in crypto. Like our country is literally converting into a cryptocurrency country.
And they keeping everyone distracted with, with the bread and circuses. They want to keep, they want to roll out these different sexual assaults on prosecuting these celebrities and all these other people to keep us. Basically, the shit they would use media hit pieces just to keep us distracted from this shit. Because rarely, if you ain't really paying attention, you won't even know what's going on. Like you said, the Genius Act. How many people was really talking about that when when they signed that into you know when they signed that into in Congress and shit when they signed that in? How many people was really even talking about that shit? Not many. Not many. But yeah, now the George Soros, they said allegedly was funding, they were saying he was funding the Palestine students protest as well. So that's what they saying. He basically funded all these different protests that's going on. He's basically funding them.
Columbia
shits.
University students here in New York City have filed a federal civil rights complaint against the university. They claim that the school is discriminating against Palestinian students and protesters, creating a hostile environment for them. When the cops came to arrest demonstrators, the U.S. Department of Education still investigating reports of anti-Semitism on campus. Joining me now is former New York City Police Department inspector, Fox News contributor, and the OpsDesk.org founder, lawyer Paul Morrow. Paul, great to see you this morning. Thank you so much for being here. How do you assess what's going on, taking place on all these universities? And now the Palestinians are saying that they're getting discriminated on.
Yeah, good luck with that. So this thing is actually going to get worse, and we should all be prepared for it. There were measures that could have been taken up front that might have tamped it down. I think that the trespass violation charges, which is really a glorified parking summons, was a mistake. I think it's likely all that the president of Colombia would accede to, but all it did was empower these folks, got them right back out there. Now we're going to be entering the summer protest season. You have all of this coordination going on from Democrat funding organizations and coordinating committees. It's all that kind of dark money that goes to not only candidates, but that we've seen in Occupy Wall Street and the quote unquote Summer of Love in 2020. And so what do we have coming up? We have May Day coming up, which is a big day for them. But all of this could lead all the way to the DNC in Chicago, equidistant from New York, Minneapolis, even LA. So Chicago is going to be it's almost going to look like 1968. This is a problem for the Dems. It's going to continue, but this lawsuit has no merit.
Well, there's a story this morning in the New York Post. It says George Soros is paying student radicals who are fueling nationwide explosion of Israel-hating protests. And in the piece, the Post writes this: all of these protests are being organized by branches of the Soros-funded Students for Justice in Palestine, SJP. And at some, students have clashed with police. We've been trying to figure out who's behind all of this because, Paul, obviously it's coordinated. They all have the same colored tents, the same colored outfits. Somebody's funding all of this. One of my guests yesterday said, don't be surprised if you learn more that it's the Communist China Party, the Communist Party of China behind it as well. But this Post story here is talking about this SJP parent organization. It's been funded by a network of nonprofits, ultimately funded by, among others, George Soros, the billionaire left-wing investor.
Yeah, we've seen this in the past. They use all of these dark money cutouts. The money is funded through subsidiaries so that it's difficult to follow. And that's why last Monday you saw when this all kicked off, these protests occurred simultaneously in cities across the country. This is before they occupied Colombia. But we had all these protests. I was out there, so I was up close on them. These protests look very, very much like Occupy. It's not just students. I've seen the ages of some of the arrestees. They're in their mid-20s. They're well past college age.
Wow.
And so you see that going on at the same time all over the country. They all have the same tents, the same placards.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's coordination. Somebody's pulling the strings.
Unbelievable. Meanwhile, what about the story of the day? House Judiciary Republicans say that Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg and the DA...
So they is basically the funder of these radical protests, because it kind of be protests going on within protests. Like there's a protest be going on, but then they send these PSYOP protesters in there to basically turn it up by getting physical, throwing bricks and shit at establishments, and doing all the extra shit. And they've been doing that ever since, since the Occupy Wall Street shit, the Black Lives Matter shit, all that shit. They basically saying this Soros dude was funding all that.
Right. It do be some real protesters out there that's just coming out there because people protesting and they want to join the protest, but there's also some actors out there that's like they said, that's working for people like Soros. And the thing is, people like Soros fund all sides.
He funds both
He
sides.
he a
Fact.
fund he a fund of yeah, he a fund of
Yeah,
any type of movement, a movement towards
right.
Palestine or a movement towards Israel. He'll fund everything.
Yeah, because if he's a Jewish guy funding radicals, people, anti-Israel radicals and shit. So that tells you right there, this man is basically send it, to cause eruption amongst the people, cause confusion, keep this shit going, keep the separatism going. And these dudes, we known for them funding both sides. You gotta think about what's the movie Trading Places where they was you know Billy Ray Valentine and goddamn Dan Aykroyd character. Um, remember he said for $1 they had that bet for $1.
You talking about Winthorpe?
Winthorpe, yeah. Remember they had that bet for $1 and shit.
Yep.
Dang.
Yeah, and it's
Yo,
it's crazy. It's crazy how they play those games with society. They play those types of little bets and stuff because they ain't got nothing else to do. People been basically giving them the power so long to do whatever they want that they do stuff like that.
right,
They basically look at the world as a big monopoly board, and look at it like a monopoly game.
right,
That's literally what they look at it as.
right.
That's why I said they like this Soros guy was used to knock out more than one bird with one stone. You know what I'm saying? He was knock out 6, 7 different birds with one stone. Like that, those protests, you gotta think about it. They got a lot of different agendas done. Keep
Yeah,
people divided, destroy businesses, you know what I'm saying? Launder money, whatever
right.
else they needed to do.
Yeah,
You know
you
what I'm
gotta
saying? So
realize that George Soros was definitely worked for the Rockefellers. He worked
exactly.
he worked directly for the Rockefellers, and he worked with Bill Gates. So that tells you right there uh who this guy is. You will know them by their fruits, man.
You do.
You'll know them by their fruits.
And
Yep.
a lot of people still gonna be sleeping and still think that Black Lives Matter stuff and all that stuff wasn't a scam, which it was. They got a bunch of people riled up just so a bunch of money could be stolen and properties could be damaged, and you don't hear about them helping the community in no way with all that donation money. And I don't even that donation money was probably launder money.
That's what we were saying from the very
Right.
beginning, that they was laundering money through that Black Lives Matter movement.
Facts.
Because it
That's
started
what we trying to say.
right.
That's what they need to be investigating.
Exactly. And that Epstein list, like the Epstein list, they still trying to keep that quiet. George
Exactly.
Soros and Bill Gates back consortium to buy UK maker of COVID tests for $41 million. So this shows you right here who these people really are. Billionaire George Soros and Bill Gates are part of the consortium set to buy Malogic, a UK-based maker of COVID tests, in the effort to increase access to affordable state-of-the-art medical technology around the world, according to the statement released. Soros Economic Development Fund and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation announced the launch of a new initiative, Global Access Health (GAH), aiming to strengthen the global rollout, saving medical technology, and subsequent acquisitions in the Malogic Ltd, best known today as the deep nostril technology used to deliver rapid COVID tests. The technology can also be used to test for, I guess that's dengue, but Bill Hazari, some shit. These scientists' names is crazy, scientific names, and river blindness. So yeah, so this shows you right here that being as though Soros and Bill Gates and all them, they all about making that bread.
Mm-hmm.
A rapid so-called lateral flow test to offer early warning screening for COVID-19. So not only did you roll out the vaccines, but you roll out uh, the test and all that shit as well. Technology that can to detect the COVID-19 as well.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It'd be a whole psyop going on out here, and while people sleeping. You know what I'm saying? Be a whole psyop while people sleeping. And the thing is, most people, oh, that's conspiracy. Oh, that's like somebody said here, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard and stuff like that. But you can look all around you and see the evidence of it all.
But they don't never say what they mean by that though. They just blout when you just blurt out shit and say this stupid thing I ever heard of what? The stupid what are you saying that pertaining to what? Like when you say shit like that, you gotta be see, I don't like when people just use phrases like that, but they don't explain themselves. Y'all gotta be
Right.
ready to start dropping the link for some of y'all that be coming in
Yeah,
here
they
and
ain't
talking
got
that
the
Asian talk.
right. Yeah, they
You know
ain't
what I
got the
mean?
right to say that if they don't explain what that means,
Yeah,
right?
right.
You
You
can't
start
just
dropping
say
the
that.
link for some of y'all in the panel to come up on the
Yeah, you
panel
can't just
and
say
explain
that.
yourself. Like who like for real? I'm ready to start disputing some of this stuff y'all be saying and just drop the link for y'all so y'all can come up here and explain
It
what you
looked
mean
like
by that.
I don't know what part of the stream they're on. That's the thing. But
Yeah,
when I first seen the
but
message, I
that's
think
that's
we were
that's
talking
why.
about the COVID stuff and how the businesses were being disrupted. And how that's a fact. That's not no conspiracy, and that's not dumb.
All right.
That's something that actually happened. A lot of people went out of business because of COVID, but a lot of the corporations survived because they were still allowing. You remember the list of the people who's essential and who's not? It seemed
Yeah.
like most of the major corporations were all of a sudden essential. It was the moms and pop shops that was basically they claimed that was non-essential. That's a move. That's a move on the power structure of how basically supplies and stuff is given to the public. Basically, they cutting the public out from becoming entrepreneurs to be a part of the supplying, the general public with shit. If only the big corporations is doing it and the government is basically merging with the corporations as we see that's been happening. I mean the government merging with the corporations, then it'd be just them supplying everything, which means it'd be what the hell is that? What type of country is that? You want to live in where the government is supplying everything 100% and decide who gets this and who gets that.
Right.
That was the power move that was made during COVID, and they disrupted the economy so we could go that direction. And then with this digital system, that's going to be able to track everything, track you through something called Fed now, track everybody through cryptocurrency and digital currencies being used instead of actual cash.
Right.
Like that's the plan that they're doing. It's in our faces. That's not a theory. That's not just a theory. They actually got things in place to where it's becoming true. They already passing bills, getting crypto signed into legislation and all of that for the banks to start using. It's there. That's what's happening. Once they do that, and then there's only corporations and government running everything, we're gonna be screwed. They don't want us to have access to anything. Basically, they want this like a global prison where a government that's mainly being ran by artificial intelligence is running everything.
All right.
But it's
We
not
can
going to
clearly see.
benefit the general public at all.
We can clearly see that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what's dumb about that? Like, what's happening?
You said what's happening?
That's what's happening. Because a little bit of businesses that was open during COVID, Soros made sure his guys go in there and throw bricks through the windows.
Yeah, that was a whole
That's a whole psyop.
whole psyop. Dang. Yeah, so they want to prosecute George Soros and his son. He
That ain't
said
happening.
Trump said he should be charged with RICO
They ain't gonna do nothing. Watch. Nothing
in
is gonna
support of
happen to that
violent
man.
protest. Nothing. He 90 years old any damn way. What's gonna happen
Right.
to him? He old as shit.
That's all talk. That's all talk. They ain't gonna go after him.
Because if they did, they would just do it. If they got something on him, they'd just go after him.
Yeah, why would they announce it to us
They wouldn't
first?
even,
Right.
yeah, they wouldn't have to make no big ass announcement about it.
Nope. We'd know when they got him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you know it's scripted and some BS. They ain't going after no Soros, man.
So they basically saying him and his son through their organization was funding violent protests.
See, the thing is, Trump been saying that shit though. Trump been saying that, right? And he been saying that since he was running for president when he was going against Kamala and all of them, and then when he was going against Biden and all of them, he was already saying that Soros and them was out there like that. He was saying that then. Same thing he said he was going to make sure Hillary get arrested and all that. None of that shit happened though. They only talk like that to keep the masses at bay. Like to give us false hopes. That they gonna get rid of the corrupt. But the thing is, they gonna fall anyway. They gonna fall anyway. They doing all this, they playing in our faces, but eventually it's all about to backfire. It ain't gonna play out. It's not gonna play out the way they think that it's gonna play out. To be honest with you, it ain't gonna play out the way they think. And there's not a lot of people paying attention to this Soros shit right now. And like we said, it's just another distraction, and we're gonna see other names too. This is just not one of the names that the general public could be more interested in what the hell is going on with the Epstein shit right now.
Right. Facts. Yeah, if y'all want to satisfy the public, put the Epstein list out.
Because we ain't just gonna skip that and talking about we're gonna investigate Soros. We need to finish this Epstein shit first and get that client list.
Yeah, who's on the client list?
So you get the client list, and then you can worry about Soros afterwards.
Facts. Unless
you know
he's
what I'm
one
saying?
of the
Put
clients.
that client
Right.
list. Oh,
unless he's one of the clients on the list. And that be making me think, bro. Like Trump covertly going at some people on the Epstein client list, but not directly saying they on a client list because he'll be implementing himself basically if they was to expose that client list. So I'm thinking he's going after people on the client list that's in the way, that's in his way and his business cronies' way, but he's not directly going at them for the Epstein shit. He's using things like this, like with Soros. He will use situations like that to say we should get this guy on RICO for funding protests and shit like that. Just like going at these people in a roundabout way where is he not directly going at them for being on the Epstein list, but he's going after them. Because I'm thinking like that meeting he had with Ghislaine Maxwell. What the hell was that for? Like, I'm thinking like you meeting with her to basically just listen. I need these names. I need to know if these names is on the Epstein list, or you know what I mean? Like,
I need to know if my name is on that.
or my name, right?
I want to see the
yeah, right.
files. I need to see those files to see if my name is in anywhere.
So you'll see her, being seen carrying boxes of files into the prison and shit. Then she get moved down to a different prison in where's in Texas or some shit like that. She got moved to a whole new facility after she met with DOJ. So I'm like, y'all roll Maxine, Maxine what's I call it Maxine? Ghislaine Maxwell out for what? She meeting with the DOJ for what? If
Why
y'all
she
playing
carrying? She's a prisoner. Why she carrying files into the building?
right, you got to start asking yourself those questions. But what's the point of rolling Ghislaine out if y'all ain't going after the people that's on the list? Or are y'all going after the people, certain people on the list, but not directly for being clients of Epstein, but
They
other shit?
can't go at people on the list if they on there.
Yeah, because you
Think
got to
about it.
realize
How they gonna go after people for crimes that they committed themselves to?
because it's not the information that they want, far as whether they on the Epstein list. They want the information that they was using the you know, blackmail. They want the blackmail information. Like, all right, you got this guy. What was this guy being blackmailed for? So now I can go blackmail his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta think about it. If Epstein was used to blackmail politicians and shit like that, who that information is valuable. It was like, all right, well, I need to know what information was used on this guy here, or these group of guys here. What was the blackmail information that was used against them? I need to know that information so I can go blackmail these guys as well. That could be that's possible, a theory right there as well too. That could be a
Hell yeah.
theory. That could be a theory to
I
keep the
mean, tell you the
blackmail going.
truth. To tell you the truth, I don't even understand how they let the Epstein name get out there in that light in the first place. Because if they all on that list, so you gonna compromise yourself and let that get out? Because you gotta think about it. All the powerful people that's on that list, obviously that's a fact because that's why the list haven't showed up yet. Because the people probably who's supposed to show us the list are on the list. That's the problem that they running into. Because why they so secretive about the client list? Because they got one. Because that's how they was able to convict. That's how they was able to convict Epstein and and Ghislaine. They had to have a client list. They had to get caught with whatever clients that they were serving. If there's no clients, there's no crime.
There's no facts.
So there has to be a list. How is there not a list? When Trump said there's no list and he got offended when that reporter asked him about Epstein, and the guy's dead. Why are we still talking about Epstein? That right there, that energy right there that he showed, that he displayed, had me thinking like, Elon was right. He probably did see Trump on that list. Yeah, I mean, you gotta think about it. Why would Elon say that out of nowhere? And then you got this guy being close friends with Epstein. That's what I'm saying, man. He's probably on that damn list. And you gotta think about it. The last administration was on a list too, because they didn't release it.
Right.
Biden didn't release that list because he probably was on the island too, chilling, eating ice cream.
Eating his chocolate chip ice cream and shit.
Right.
Eating his whole chocolate chip ice cream.
On the island.
They asked for Cash Patel's Donald Trump on the list. That motherfucker skated around that shit, boy. He skated around that. Like, bro, they asked you. Let me see if I can pull it. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. He skated around it.
Yeah, who the hell are the clients? You know what I'm saying? That's what everybody's wondering. Who are the clients? How did Epstein, go to jail, got taken out? They claim he took himself out. And Ghislaine's still in there. She knows the client list. She definitely knows the client list.
Facts.
And if she's in prison for a client list, that means it does exist. But they were saying they was coming out saying that, oh, there's an Epstein file that the government is passing around, but not a
Yeah.
list.
So I'm thinking, do you think you know, because like I said, the blackmail, they still using that shit to blackmail these certain people that's in position. Do you think they continuing to blackmail the people that's on that list? Because I'm thinking
Hell yeah,
if
they
they're not,
still blackmailing the
yeah,
people
they
that's on
still.
that list.
That's why I'm thinking they need that list to keep that list concealed because they still blackmailing the people that's on that list.
Hell yeah.
Dang.
But it makes you wonder, how did the shit get out in the first place? That's still a mystery.
Somebody had to
it had to be somebody with just as much power who might not be on that list.
Right.
Because it's a possibility not all that all of them are not on, all the people in power is not on Epstein list. Because they could, like we said before, they could have had their own Epsteins doing their own thing. And they not necessarily on Epstein's client list, but they could be on their own client list. They got their own client list and their own faction circling around. So they don't really care about being compromised through Epstein because they never did no business with him.
Right. Right.
But I feel like the administration, from the Biden administration to the Trump administration, I feel like they both been covering up the client list.
Yeah.
Because you gotta think about it, both administrations was in there during this whole Epstein shit, and none of them released the client list.
None of them released the client list, bro.
Nope.
And Epstein, because Epstein he was in custody. He was locked up during the Biden administration.
Facts.
They, like, after he was prosecuted, him and Ghislaine, that list should have been displayed.
Right. They were showing the flight list.
They were saying on the flight list. They had everybody.
The flight list ain't necessarily the client list. Not saying that some of the clients couldn't be part of the flight list, but the flight list and the client list are two different lists.
Facts. Now this is them grilling Patel about Trump being on that list and shit.
Let's go.
Look how his response is. If this ain't, I'm protecting this guy 101. I don't know what else to tell you.
Mr. Patel, does Donald Trump appear anywhere in the Epstein files?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
It's not a complicated question. Does Donald Trump appear anywhere in the Epstein files?
I didn't say it was a complicated question. I just didn't hear you, so my apologies. We have.
How didn't he hear him? That loud ass PA system. How didn't you hear him?
He heard him. He just had to think of something to say.
Right. Come on.
Because he knows straight off the bat he's on that list.
All right. Bring that shit back. That loud ass PA system.
Does Donald Trump appear anywhere in the Epstein files?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
It's not a complicated question. Does Donald Trump appear anywhere in the Epstein files?
I didn't say it was a complicated question. I just didn't hear you, so my apologies. We have released where President Trump's name's in the Epstein files and everybody else, and all credible information that we are legally allowed to release has been released.
All right, so let's go through that. You're referring to court orders that prohibit you from releasing grand jury testimony under Rule 6E. Is that what you're referring to when you say as the law allows?
That's a piece of it.
Really? What other evidence do those three court orders you cited prohibit from being released?
Information that was collected pursuant to those search warrants that were limited in fashion.
Wrong. That's not what the court order says, and that's not under 6E.
And you're talking, and I said that's 6E, and I said there was others, and I'm answering that there are sealed court order documents. There are protective orders.
They are unsealed as part of discovery given to Ghislaine Maxwell. They are no longer sealed.
That's just not true. We can argue about it all you want.
Okay, well, you agree that there are, so your testimony here is that the reason why you are not releasing all of the videos that you have acknowledged, there are so many, and that the FBI spent thousands of hours of reviewing, the photographs, the photographs that you have.
The
you're
audio.
saying that you're not releasing those because there's a court order
requiring them to be sealed? Is that your testimony?
Never said that about the videos. On the totality of the videos, of the thousands of images that were seized pursuant to the search warrants executed at the time, the overwhelming majority of that video is pornographic material that was downloaded from the internet and child sexual abuse material. We will never release that.
Well, as you should not release the victims. But if there are videos that relate to others who Epstein trafficked to, such as maybe Prince Andrew, or photographs, that you have total control to release.
Yes, and if it exists.
And so why haven't you released it?
Why are you supposing that that is a fact when in fact it is false? Are you saying that?
You're saying that none of the videos relate to anything relevant to the Jeffrey Epstein trafficking ring?
Every single video that we have collected pursuant to the prior search warrants has been examined for the last 10 years. And every single video has been utilized for whatever prosecutions were able to be legally brought.
I'm not asking about prosecutions. I'm asking about why you aren't releasing the full Epstein files, including the names of people who were involved in the sex ring that you promised to do before you became FBI director.
I just told you, I'm not going to release downloaded porn.
I'm not asking about that. Fine. I'm asking about all the other files.
What other videos? Tell me. Tell me.
That's what I'm asking.
Tell me.
You're saying there are no videos that would be relevant to anyone else involved in the Jeffrey Epstein sex ring.
Pursuant to Mr. Acosta's collection of information based on the search warrants. That's all we have in our possession.
And I'm asking you that stuff.
That's all we got.
I'm not asking all you got. I'm asking you in that stuff. There's nothing that's related to the to any other sex traffic, any other people engaged with Epstein in underage sex.
That's correct. To my knowledge, no.
Okay. Let's talk about the witness interviews. 302s of witness interviews.
He's
Those
lying.
are not
He's
subject
lying
to
like
a
a
court
mother-
order.
Well-
Those are not subject to any fictional seal.
Yo, Patel lying his ass off. He knows some people on them goddamn files, on them tapes, bro. He knows people on them tapes that's going to implement them as criminals and shit. He know that.
So
He
they saying
protect
just Epstein and Ghislaine was just doing all the sex,
all that
with
shit
the
alone,
minors.
right?
They,
And they
was just
saying,
doing it all alone. They ain't have nobody else partying with them.
so you mean to tell me all
That's some
all
bullshit.
that tape they got, even with the cheese pizza tapes they got, they found on people's computers. You mean to tell them motherfuckers can't go to jail for having cheese pizza on their goddamn computer? Didn't he just say they got footage of them committing acts with cheese pizza, goddamn videos and shit like that? That's a crime. What is this Patel do? Yo, Patel really think people just like dumb. He really think people just dumb. This guy is a piece of work.
Order for a search warrant. Why aren't you releasing those with the redacted names of the victims?
We are releasing as much as legally allowed. That's why we went back to
How
the
is that?
courts.
How is that not legally allowed?
Sir, do you know how court orders work? Do you know how protective orders work?
Actually,
Do you know how
Mr.
sealing
Patel,
orders?
I was a real prosecutor for 10 years. I know exactly how.
So I was a
court
fake one?
orders. And I want to understand what the court order prevents you from releasing witness statements that the FBI took.
You should know that as a real prosecutor, when the court hand downs a protective order and a motion to seal, the material is sealed unless
So
that
your
judge
testimony
waives
here
it.
is that all of those witness statements are under a court order, a protective order.
We are providing everything we can legally provide.
No, that's not my
Congress has sent
question.
us a
My
subpoena.
question is, why are those witness statements that are not grand jury testimony, that if they were under a protective order are no longer under a protective order, why are they not being released?
How are they not under a protective
Why
order?
are you not going to the court like you did for the grand jury testimony to unseal those records?
The DOJ did go to the court.
No, not on those records. Why aren't you going? You just went on grand jury.
Time of the gentleman is expired.
You are hiding the Epstein files, Mr.
Time of the
Patel.
gentleman is expired.
You are part of the cover-up.
Can I respond?
Sure can.
Any allegations that I'm a part of a cover-up to protect child sexual trafficking and victims of human trafficking and sexual crimes is patently and categorically false in the work of my
So I hope you will talk to them when they
Gentlemen's
have
time is
requested
expired.
to speak with you. Because the
Gentlemen's time is
victims have
expired. Gentleman
requested
yields
and you are
back.
not responding to them.
He protecting the hell out of. He protecting the hell out of the clients on that Epstein clients, bro.
Director Patel.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. That's why I said ain't nothing gonna happen to the Soros character neither. It's funny that that dude mentioned Prince Andrew.
Yeah, you see that?
You see,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder.
Right.
So he was basically saying that they got whim that he's on that Epstein list because you wouldn't
Yeah.
just name that name.
Yeah, you wouldn't just say Prince
And the
Andrew.
thing is,
Right.
it already came out in the news that he was friends with Epstein and he went to that island. So I don't even know. I don't even know what people believe at this point, but the truth is the truth. They covering it up. The Trump administration and the Biden administration. They both covering up that client list up. And this FBI director is definitely helping them. He's scared like he on that damn list.
Yeah, right. Facts.
Yeah, he's protecting these motherfuckers like he on there. Or they got something on him, blackmailing him
You
too.
got something on him. Facts. Because I
So
don't
it's
think
like
you won't. Yeah, I don't think you will be in certain positions, get in a certain position if they don't have dirt on you anyway. So
that's
I'm
crazy.
thinking Patel. Yeah, I think Patel is wrapped up in some shit that he don't want to get out because he don't want to implement himself as a criminal. Because I believe he's protecting them people on that list. He's definitely being rewarded for that shit too. They pointed that shit out in this meeting too, that he was you know rewarded with having money tied up in certain stocks and shit. That's tied, corporate stocks and shit. So I don't know, man. Patel, he's kind of fishy, bro. He's kind of iffy.
Yeah,
Shit.
he's not a trustworthy guy.
Yeah, he's iffy.
But then again, that's how it is in most government agencies
All right. Somebody came
with
here
the
and said,
people at the top.
play the damn video.
Oh, they
Yo,
get timed
you
out.
go.
They could go to another
We,
channel
we
and watch
did
that
we
shit.
did play the damn video. What are you talking about? We already played the damn video. Unless they
If you
somewhere
don't
else.
want to hear our commentary, go find the video and play it for yourself. The people that's here, they want to hear the commentary. We can't just play the video without having no commentary.
It's a show.
So
That's what a
so
show
go
does. Yeah.
back. So just go
This
to
the
another.
new. Yeah, this is not a news channel where they just stream the news and shit like that. This is a actual show that you're tuned into. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, we was talking about the Epstein list because they trying to divert us away from that shit. And we need that needs to be that needs to be that list needs to be revealed. What you
Yeah,
think of?
before they start talking about Soros, you investigating Soros, you need to be investigating and finding out the clients that Epstein had.
That's crazy. That he
Let's
said
start with that first.
he said he got a protective order from the judge to keep this file sealed. Damn, the judge must be on them goddamn files then. Like any judge that want to go against that file being released to the general population, who is he protecting?
It's
I mean,
multiple people from multiple different professions that's on that Epstein client list for sure. Just think, if you want to think of a different professions that could be involved in that Epstein client list, look at movies like Rosemary's Baby, where that satanic occult was filled with high level doctors and surgeons and movie and
lawyers, all that shit.
actors,
Yeah.
lawyers, judges, and policemen.
Yeah, Rosemary Baby.
Facts.
That's definitely a movie that displays that as well. Yeah, shit like Eyes Wide Shut.
Thank
Eyes
you,
Wide
T.
Shut.
Adam. Thank you, T. Adam. T. Adam said y'all doing a great job. Always listen to y'all. Thank you. We like the
Appreciate it.
positive stuff too. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean,
We
I don't
love the
mind.
positive feedback.
Yeah, like I don't mind people coming in here having their opinion about things, but some people just be getting outright disrespectful. And you
Yeah,
just gotta
talking about
block
just
that.
they ain't no opinion. They said just play the damn video. That's not
Right,
even
that's
an
what I'm saying.
opinion. That's
Yeah,
coming in here
exactly.
barking demands. Like they go eat. Hey, buddy, go get your own channel or go watch the video somewhere else.
Yeah.
The hell?
By the way, this
What you think
video is
this
sponsored
is?
by Night and Day Herbals too. This is sponsored by our own website, our own products. Make sure y'all go over there and support our website where we sell natural products, nightandayherbals.com. We have everything on here for you know, for sleep app. If you're dealing with sleep insomnia, or you need something to relax, definitely check out our CBD products as well. We have the CBD cigarettes on here for y'all that you know, that want to, you know, have something to relax. We got pre-rolls on here as well. We have the loose flower that you can make tea, and you also can roll up, smoke, or make tea with. This is all natural CBD, no chemical sprays or none of that. We got the vapes on here as well. But also check out our topical products like the pain balm. We have the lotion and the soap combination. This CBD infused soap, lavender mint. You know what I mean? We have stuff on here for wounds, wound salve, detox, detox drinks as well. Yeah, everything is naturally made. No synthetics, no chemicals, no sprays, no any of that. Just everything at its purest form. We got the sea moss on here too, sea moss infused fruit, sea moss teas. Yep. We have hair growth serum as well, the organic extra strength hair growth. We have the pure rose water on here as well. We have beard moisturizer for the fellas, shampoos and conditioners. So check us out, man. 90dayherbals.com. Yeah, we ship out at the time. You know, as the orders come in, we ship those things out. You get 40% off. You spend $50 or more on the gummies or all smokes. Use checkout code CBD Savings 40. You get your 40% off, spending $50 or more. Yeah, man.
Definitely appreciate y'all who've been shopping with us for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And shit, we got we're gonna catch y'all on the next live stream. We got another live stream lined up for tomorrow, so make sure y'all, you know what I mean, subscribe to this channel, like this video, double tap the screen, like this video, or give this video a thumbs up, and then we'll catch y'all on the next live stream. All right.
Yeah.
If you crave nature but still shop online, Night and Day Herbals is your dream come true. Discover premium herbal soaps, shampoos, and CBD products. All organic, all for you. Shop now at nightandayherbals.com.